What's up guys? Hello and welcome back to Bite Size Security. I'm your host Jimmy, and as usual today I'm doing another technical video and we are covering Surfmon by HackTheBox. And so this is another easy box. It's one of the last few. I believe the next one is going to be Soccer, and that will be the last easy box in Linux, and then there is Intelligence. Then after there's two more medium ones, and then Serial and Flight and Blackfield, which are hard boxes. And then after that we'll be able to go to Proving Grounds. With that being said, let's get into Surfmon. So as usual, I've got my notes and my folder ready, and I've already ran the Nmap, the auto recon, because it does take a lot of time, but I will still go through the normal process. So prep note Surfmon, like so, and then I can go into Surfmon and into enumeration, external, and I will already have the results there because I've already ran auto recon. But inside of the notes here, I will still take the IP and paste it there. And I believe in the future I might do it like this as well. I will run auto recon, leave everything else out, and just have the auto recon scan ready for when I do the video. Anyway, so we have that done. So let's open the root of the entire box, which is Surfmon, like so. This I can close like that, exactly. So I have everything ready already. It will save time and it will just be smoother. So let's start with a quick scan, and then let's do the full scan. Yeah, actually that's a great idea. I'll just do that from now on. We lose a lot of time going through the same thing every time. But one last time, I'll just show you what I would usually do. I would take the IP. Let's do alias recon so you can see that, and then I would just take the IP and run this. And then let's go back to UDP here, take that, paste it there, and then Rust scan we will still run. Take the IP, scan, call it initial, let that run, and then inside of enum let me create a bunch of nodes. Like so. Let's clean initial and call it Rust scan, like this. Remove that, take this and paste it into Rust scan. Like this. So we got a bunch of ports. Let's just go through these. So let's put this here like that, and then start with Nmap. Let's copy this into each and every one. Like so. MSRPC. Then SMB. Then ports FTP. FTP, then port 22 SSH, like so. Then Samba. And then MSRPC, let's do that here as well. Let's take the last one, this one, put it here like this, and then take that, space like this, and then put all the other ones in between. This one and this one, and I believe that one as well. I don't have that. And so we've done this. Let's collapse them again. Collapse, collapse, collapse. And here there's nothing, nothing. Let's take port 80. HTTP, then 8443, which is HTTPS. Like that, HTTPS. And then these two we can delete. So that was a lot quicker than it usually is. So let's now go into the terminal and start with port 21 FTP. So enumeration. Let's connect. So what I usually do with port FTP is I just try to connect to it. Let's take the IP one more time and let's connect. Let's do anonymous login. Password, because that is okay. And that worked. Let's take some note of this. The screenshot I meant. Let's say FTP anonymous login. Like so. Successful. Let's browse. So we've got one folder called users. Okay, so we got Nadine and Nathan. These are credentials. Nadine and Nathan. So let's browse into Nadine. See what we have. Confidential. Let's get confidential. Let's go back. Go to Nathan. See what we have. Let's get this too. I want to get it all into one so I can take that screenshot like that. This FTP, we download everything we can find within the FTP server. What we could have done is a recursive download, like we once did in the previous box all the way in the beginning with SMB client, which is like prompt off and then mget everything. I believe that's possible in FTP as well. It's just we were first enumerating, so we did it like this, a bit slower, but it's the same thing. So we found two files. One is notes to do, and the other one was confidential. So let's see what we have in there. Where are we? We are in external. Let's move this confidential and notes to loot, like so. I left your password.txt file on your desktop. Please remove this once you have edited it yourself and place it back into the secure folder. Okay. And then change the passwords, complete, lock down the NS client, complete, upload the passwords, remove public access, and place the secret file in SharePoint not complete. Okay, let's move on to SSH. SSH audit. Let's take IRP and call that audit. That goes very quick. So let's clean that and call it SSH audit. Remove audit and take all of it, collapse this, SSH audit, paste that here. As usual, I do not believe that SSH is our way in, and we have confirmation of this. So next port, port 80. We did have a few things on port 80. So as usual, we'll do curl, we'll do Nikto, we'll do GoBuster, and we'll do WhatWeb, and we'll take a screenshot. Let's take the curl, collapse this, then, and this is a very small page, probably a static page, but it has a login. We'll browse to it and then we'll see. Nikto, nothing. WhatWeb, nothing. GoBuster, nothing. So that is quickly done. Let's just browse to it though, because it does have a login. Take IP like so. And we got this. And we got NVMS 1000. I almost sneezed there. That was close. NVMS 1000. Okay, let's Google that after. Let's continue first with the ports. So we have SMB and SMB client. SMB client. And let's try SMB clients -n-l, so n for null session, l for list, 4 times // and access denied. Okay, and then we have finally the HTTPS. So here as well we have curl, we have GoBuster, We have Nikto, screenshot, and WhatWeb, and SSL scan. Though we will take the certificate ourselves, we will also paste the output of that scan here. So the curl, GoBuster, these are just parts of the word list, and only those 2, 3 have more of a size, so these are valid. Okay, makes sense. Nikto, what do we have in Nikto? This looks kind of standard. Nikto, when it doesn't find anything, these always show. It's everything is tried. So nothing in Nikto. The screenshot we will take ourselves. WhatWeb, paste that. And the SSL scan, we'll paste that too. So we got the certificate here, but let's browse. HTTPS IP 8443. Let's go there. Advanced, view certificate. Certificate, and we'll paste that there. But we will also try to browse. Not loading. Okay, not really loading. So let's just take a screenshot of this. And now that we have enumerated everything, let's go back to NVMS 1000 on port 80 HTTP. NVMS 1000, that is a version of something. So let's go on Searchsploit. NVMS 1000. And we do have something. Where should I exploit? So we have a directory traversal. Let's download this. Let's go to Surfmon, exploit, and then do Searchsploit this, and then we can read. Let's collapse this, exploit, let's read that. So there is a directory traversal here. Is this just on the main? Oh, let's try. Like this? Impossible. Yeah, no. Okay, let's Google that. Maybe we'll find something. NVMS 1000 exploit. Because if it's on DB here, then Google will have something. We have this one, which is the exploit DB one that we can see here, and we've got one here. Let's look at both. Do we have another? Oh, actually, the first one. Proof. Okay, so this one is that one, and oh, actually, this one is this one. and this seems to... Okay, let's try that one. So surge exploits. Let's not be that lazy. NVMS 1000, and let's download this one. Like so, and then we can run that, see what it needs. So 2.7. Now, I'm too lazy for that now, so let's go with this one. Okay, clone. This one probably works. Clone, which is an alias for git clone, and then NVMS, and see what this one needs and if it works. Okay, let's try this just to see if indeed it does work. And let's replace that with the IP. Oh, I pressed insert. Oh, so HTTP perm. Now it should work. Because the permissions, as usual in every video, every time I run auto recon, the permissions of the file are not. The permissions of the directory are root, and so I cannot write anything into it. That is why. So let's try that again. And that worked. So essentially, let's explain that a bit clearer for the new viewers. So when I run sudo auto recon and when I create these folders here, they are created as root, and so I cannot really modify anything into them. And so what I do is I type HTTP perm, which is an alias. And what an alias is, you can check in the video I have about my setup. But anyway, the HTTP perm alias is this. And basically it gives my normal user Dynamo the permissions to edit anything inside of this folder. With that being said, the exploit worked and I've got Windows INI. So that means I can now read files from the server of our target. Now, given that we can read server files on our targets, let's cycle back to this FTP, and we have a note here that says, I left your passwords on your desktop. And this is to Nathan from Nadine. So what we should be able to do is go to users, front slash, and then Nathan, desktop, passwords dot text. And where do I save it? To loot password, and that worked. So I can take a screenshot of it here. On exploit. So we have successfully exploited the directory traversal vulnerability and recovered some passwords. So we are now, we have passwords inside of surfmon loot like this. And so now we can try and confirm whether these credentials are valid. So where should we do this? Let's try with SMB first. Net exec, and then let's do net exec SMB IP -u. And what did it say? It was from Nadine to Nathan. Okay, so let's try Nathan first. Because it said that the passwords are his, right? So let's try that. Nothing. Okay, let's try Nadine. Okay, so we have valid credentials not for Nathan, but for Nadine. Net exec. So this is here like that, and we have a valid set of credentials like so. Let's try SMB with those credentials. I wanted to do shares like this. Read. Okay, let's do SMB -u to log in as Nadine no 4 times backslash, take IP like so, and then the password. Oh, -L. Okay, so if I don't do -L and try to connect to IPC $, I cannot. Let's take this and paste it into SMB clients like that, and then let's take another screenshot. And paste it here. So SMB does not work with the credentials. So let's look if we have a password reuse vulnerability. Basically, users using the same passwords twice over various services. So we could try the website, put 80, but that's a static page. The curl didn't really show anything. But but more importantly, what we can try is SSH, right? So let's try. Let's exec SSH and then just copy all of this. And that works. So let's go into SSH. Let's exec, paste that here. So we've got valid SSH credentials. So let's connect SSH Nadine at here, the IP, take this password, And we are connected. We have an initial foothold. Like so. Like so. And so now we can go from external to internal. And start enumeration again. So let's go to desktop as usual first and see if we are the user that has the user text file. We are. Put that into loot. Given that I'm not going to type the user.txt file, I will just paste it like this. That was my phone. Everything is okay though. Can take this away. And then let's try enumerating. Who am I? Priv. We've got extremely low privileges, which makes me anticipate one of two things. We either have to find passwords to... Okay, wait. So, enumeration. So, we are now connected as a low priv user. We have user.txt, but we have extremely low privileges, right? And do we have another user? We do. We have Nathan, of course. So we have Nathan. So we either have to find passwords and up our privileges to Nathan, or there's some other sort of privilege escalation path to immediately get to administrator. So we could now run WinPeas. Let's do that. So PowerShell. And let's go to privesc. And then locate peas. This one. Copy. Peas into this. Where were we? We copied peas to here. Let's host a server. And then we can do reget http // RIP, call it like this, -o /o winpeas.exe. Oh, not allowed, of course, because we are not in a writable folder. So let's go to Nadine desktop and do that again. Let's take a screenshot. Let's transfer WinPeas over like so, and then let's execute WinPeas. Okay, so there's some kind of firewall on this targets. So let's go for some manual enumeration. Let's go to the roots. And this was something I wrote down in my notes after the last box escape, and that was to do my manual enumeration a bit more thoroughly and start from the root directory, which is from the home, from the root, which is C. So let's list what we have here. we've got the web root. Let's go into that. FTP root. Let's go into that. Nothing. Let's go into logs. Log files. Let's go into this. Denied. Okay, so let's go into program files, common files, NS client ++. That was this. Okay, interesting. Where was I? Here. Okay, so let's go into that. There. NS client ++. Okay, so let's see. Search exploit NS client ++. We've got an authenticated remote code execution and a privilege escalation. Okay, let's do that on Google. We can close this, we can close this, we can close this. And then let's type that, exploit. Let's open this one and this one, the first two. So when NS client is installed with web server enabled, low local privileged users, which we are, have the ability, let's go to here, privacy, have the ability to read the web administrator's password in clear text from the configuration file. From here, a user is able to log in to the web server and make changes to the configuration file that is normally restricted. Exploit, blah, blah, blah. Run the following that is instructed. Grab web administrator's password inside of nsclient.ini. Let's go here, make this a tiny bit smaller, and look, we have nsclient.ini. So what we can also do when we have a folder like this where there might be passwords is this credential hunting, this script. I'll show it here. We can run the following script to find passwords within a folder. This. Let's run it. And it finds two files where there's a password inside. And because here it already told us that the password is within this file, we can check manually, which we will do in as clients like this. Let's go up. We have the password here. Allowed hosts. Okay, so local hosts. So we will most probably have to do a local port forward. Okay. And let's now also try this. It should give us the same thing. Okay, that hangs. Let's try that again. SSH Nadine loot maybe that was a cmd.exe command. So let's go into program files again, ns, and then let's do that again. So privesc, but we can also extract the file according to the following exploits. Oh, we have it up here. Like this. And then this we put there. Yeah, so let's try that. Yes, okay. So we have the password this way, but we also have the password by just looking at it, looking for it with that string, find string command I gave you, and then we know that it's within that file, and we can then type the file. Type, and it's nsclients.ini. All right, now on to the next thing. We have to do a local port forward to connect to the site. Okay, so let's do that. CLS, let's do a local port forward. Let's go to my notes. Oh, actually, I should know how to do that. SSH-L 8443, and then 127.001 8443 Nadine at the IP, like so. Loot. There's two ways of doing a local port forward. There's this way, and there's another way I actually like better, which is this way. SSH pass P like this. This I like actually better. I don't know why, but this one works better. It's non-interactive. It doesn't ask you for the password one more time. So both work. I just like this one better because I can see in my notes I have both written there. I can show you. Let me take a screenshot of this like that. Like this. There. I even wrote here, works better. So this is this is why I now use that one. So with that being done, I should now be able to browse to localhost. So https://127.001 and then on port 8443. Advanced, accept the risk and continue. Privesc. Let's get this password one more time. Actually, like this. So we've got the passwords and let's try to log in. Okay, so we've got this, and this is now the part where I have to admit something to you. I did the recording for this box an hour ago, and I had to do it all again because the sounds got messed up. But then another reason was that the privilege escalation using this exploit keeps hanging. So to just cut this short and not try this again, we will try this exploit, because I know for a fact that this one works and this one keeps hanging. But you can try this one yourself. It's supposed to work, but it hangs for me. So I'm just going to try this one. So let's go here and do the following. This one I have to go to C. Users Nadine desktop. Load PowerShell. Then here clone the exploit, go inside of it and see what we need. Let's see, like this. So we need netcat. So let's copy useful binaries netcat to here. Like this. And then server wget like this. And then let's also go take some notes. We shall use the following privesc exploit. This one. So we have netcat there. And now let's try that. What do we need? We need a listener. Listen on port 443. And we need to execute it here. So let's try that. Python 3 exploit. Like this. This is our host file, host address on 443, that's correct. And then our targets, given that we're running it on port localhost, at port 8443, we can do it like this. The super secret password is also not correct. Let's take this one and see if that works. And it did. We are root, I believe. There you go. We have successfully rooted Surfmon. Let's go to users, administrator, desktop. There you go. We have successfully rooted Surfmon. This was a bit easier. I kind of flew through this one because I did the whole recording a second time, and so the patience was a bit lower. Please forgive me. The next video will be a bit more enthusiastic. I literally had to do the entire recording another time, and it was a bit annoying. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. Continue to support as you have until now. I'm incredibly grateful and humbled and thankful. I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah, thank you guys. Peace.